Hi everyone, it's Friday afternoon, and before I take off for the weekend, I just wanted to make sure I checked in and explained a little bit about all the things that I posted in the study design section of Blackboard. Of course, you're also working on your logic models, so you can feel free to ignore this message until you're ready to finish up with your logic model and pass it in and then talk this through. But your study design that's due on the 10th, what I've done is I've taken a lot of relevant materials that I've kind of pieced together through searching through the literature and things like that in order to make sure I posted some relevant things. But it kind of started to feel like last semester in terms of maybe being overwhelming with the readings. I know that was a little bit of an issue for some of you next semester. So I just wanted to take a little bit of time to kind of walk through, what's relevant, what you might want to take a look at, and maybe what you can skip over a little bit. So under readings, this is where most of the meat of things are. There's some required reading, and I would say, the top two are really the most important. The first one just gives a big overview of what are some different study designs. The next one talks about notes on study design. So both of these are just kind of nice broad overviews. Then it goes through, some alternatives to randomization. Most of you are not going to be doing randomized trials because you're working with a very specific group. So some of the, details on most effective study designs might not apply to you all, and that's okay. It's just you need to acknowledge what is the most rigorous way you could design a study, and then you have to work with what you have. So all of these are required reading just so you can really get, a basic understanding, almost as if you were reading a chapter about designing studies for, public health and nutrition, just in order to make sure you understand, the pros and the cons of the study design you do choose. I don't want everyone leaving thinking they need to, design an NIH quality cohort study. But if you're going for the gold, and had a ton of funding, maybe that's something you could do. But you want to think about what's realistic for you too. The supplemental readings to help with study design are mostly sample studies. So I tried to organize these by what a lot of you are doing for your research. So some of you are doing needs assessment. So this is some methods for conducting a needs assessment, and you can look at those study designs there. There's some on nutrition education, which a lot of you are doing. There's community-based participatory research, which a couple of you are doing for the study design. And then Shape Up Somerville, I don't know how many of you know about this study, but it was a total overhaul of the town of Somerville in Boston, Massachusetts by Tufts University, and it's just a really excellent design of a study for for policy change. So I would take a look at that as sort of being a gold standard, and they do a really nice job in this paper, just giving you a really nice overview of what Shape Up Somerville actually looked like in terms of study design. So I put that in there. So I'd say if you're gonna pick one, definitely read this Shape Up Somerville study design, and then depending on what you're doing, you might want to take a look at some of these others as well. Then I have also posted a lecture. The lecture is just on non-randomized trials because pretty much all of you are going to be doing non-randomized trials. It's a PowerPoint that's put out by the American Dietetic Association, very brief, and it's just some real nice bullet points on how to design a non-randomized trial for a study design when you're looking at, nutrition, public health type stuff. And then we have the assignment and the discussion. So in the discussion, just do your back and forth thing, going with each other to kind of propose what your study design might look like and talk to each other about it. And then there's the assignment section where each of you is going to submit your study design. So that is what has been posted. Good luck, everyone, and I really look forward to reading your logic models soon. So I'll get to those next week and give you some feedback, before you start adding the study design to it. But as always, feel free to ask me any questions, and I look forward to seeing all your work soon. Take care.